Maddox. I'm your biggest fan.
For over 20 years, I've run one of the longest-running humor sites on the internet. I've published books, worked on TV shows, and even video games. Along the way, I've met thousands of fans. Most of them have been awesome, but some, unfortunately, have become obsessed and tried to get into my personal life. This is the story of what happens when fans become stalkers.
Maddox and that.
Maddox. After we recorded the final episode, Fanboy's gravy train was ending. He didn't have much of a following on his own, and nobody cared about him outside of his association with me, so he went back to being irrelevant. And that's not just my opinion. He tried to get a Wikipedia page, but it kept getting deleted because he was not noteworthy. There was even an account with his name that whined about his page getting deleted, saying, "Sigh, why wasn't I informed?" And after his page was rejected, his small group of sycophants started spamming my Wikipedia page to add as many links and references to him as possible. 8 times on a page about me regarding a fan I haven't even spoken to in over half a decade.
You just glom onto someone who's way more famous than you.
This is one of the saddest things I've ever seen. And it's true because he only had around 3,200 followers on Twitter and Facebook at the time. And almost half a decade later, with constant posts and weekly updates, his Facebook page had only grown by a whopping 3,000. And that was before it was finally suspended near the end of 2021. For comparison, this Facebook page for an anti-snoring device has over 9,000 followers. He started his own podcast, but he was struggling to get listeners because he doesn't have much of a following. Here's some basic math. If you have a following of 10,000 people and you make a post, generally speaking, it'll only reach at most 10,000 people. But that didn't stop him from lying and telling people he was getting millions of downloads that he wasn't. In fact, he posted a screenshot to brag about his alleged download numbers, but then posted another screenshot 2 months later showing that he got about 500,000 new downloads in 2 months. He was claiming 250,000 downloads per month, which is 7 times higher than the top 1% of podcasts, which would put him near the top of iTunes. But of course, that's never happened. He's never even outperformed my old podcast, which only got as high as number 42 one time.
I'd lie all the time, I don't care.
Even his dopey followers suspected something was up because they complained that they were downloading the same episodes over and over again. In fact, it happened on multiple occasions. Some people even said they received the same episodes pushed to their devices up to 3 times. So at best, his numbers are inflated. One telltale sign of someone lying about their reach is low engagement. If someone claims to be getting millions of views, all you have to do is look at the comments and engagement to see that they're not. Even in the very episode where he's bragging about allegedly receiving 1 million downloads, he has a grand total of only 1 comment. Oops. Before his page was suspended, his posts would only get a handful of comments. In fact, 5 years after consistently posting episodes, his podcast links had little to no engagement. And these are relatively recent episodes. Here are 5 episodes in a row where he struggles to crack 25 upvotes after 3 months on his biggest platform. For comparison, here's a picture of a vacuum cleaner I posted that got 102 likes, 95 comments, and even 1 share. One person saw this picture of a vacuum cleaner I posted and decided, you know what, I'm gonna share that. And if there is any doubt, I set up a little honeypot to prove definitively that he's lying about his reach, which I'll reveal later in this video. It seemed like there wasn't anything getting him any engagement. Well, almost anything. There was one type of post that did relatively well for him. Posts that have something to do with me.
Maddox.
In fact, just about any time he'd post pictures, screenshots, or illustrations of me, they'd get much higher engagement. That's weird. Almost like he needs to keep talking about me to survive. That may explain why he so desperately tries to provoke me. But his lying and desperation didn't end there. At one point, he hosted all of my old podcast episodes on his new site without my authorization, which would drive traffic and inflate his numbers when people would search for me. He did this by lying and telling people I deleted the website, except the site was never deleted. But he lied and posted a mirror to it anyway.
Because I'm a liar.
Except it wasn't just a mirror. He made one very significant change that I didn't give him permission to make. He linked to his new show on every single page that contained a SoundCloud player. So essentially, he turned my hard work into an advertisement for him without paying me. That would be like a band breaking up and one of the members hosting their entire anthology on his personal website and then inserting an ad to promote his shitty solo project. It's not only unethical, it's illegal. He hasn't licensed this for me, and I didn't approve of this use. But despite his surreptitious use of my content, he was still struggling to get any traction.